All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because in today's video, what we're talking about is SQY, the Yieldmax Sq Option Income Strategy ETF. This is going to be a bullish video on SQY, and the reason being is because I found some subtle hints in the share price point, as I've been mentioning, obviously, in a couple of my previous videos about the share price of Square, why I think there's a bullish trend coming and why I might be looking to add more shares to my position. We're also going to talk a little bit about what Block does, and I went through their 10Q, and I want to show you guys something very interesting about kind of their monthly subscriptions and how everything is trading for Block as a company. This is going to be a complete bullish video on SQY. I'm going to show you why I'm interested in buying more shares, why when I get my clip dividend, I'll be looking to reinvest, and all that coming in. So if you guys are interested in Square or high dividend yields, of course, close to 100% dividend yield. So if you guys are interested in anything like that, please do remember to subscribe. We're up to 3,768 subscribers. Got a bunch of amazing people on here who comment every day, and I will be sure to get back to some of your comments very soon. So today we're talking about Square, SQY. And so what I wanted this topic to be for this video was why SQY would potentially surpass CONY. Now, if we're looking at the two underlying stocks, we have Square, which is SQ, and we have COIN, which is Coinbase. Now, Coinbase, looking at the weekly chart, I pulled up the weekly chart for both of these. Square has a much more favorable weekly chart. You can see here for CONY, it kind of had a pretty massive rejection on this very last candle, which could mean we're in for a little bit of kind of like a pullback or a stagnant period if we were to be looking at Coinbase. Kind of from like a more so day trading perspective, but you can see here it's kind of been interrupted by this big bull trend's been interrupted by this big downtrend here, and we've kind of been holding about the level about $176 or so. But for Square, looking at the weekly chart, this is very interesting. This is the long-term share price chart of Square. You can see here, obviously it had an amazing run up in 2020 and 2021, but it had a great downtrend and has been hovering at these levels roughly about, we can see here, $40 to roughly about $80, $90. Now for Square, if you look here on the MACD, this basically shows if we're in a bullish trend. You can see here when Square was rising really high, the MACD was rising and it was above. This means we're in a bullish trend. And when the MACD crosses over, it generally means we are in a bearish trend. And this is a kind of like a indicator or factor that I like to look at quite a bit. Now you can see here in 2020, we went into a really massive uptrend. Now in 2022 and approaching 2023, we were in a pretty big bear trend. And in 2023, for the majority heading into 2024, we have been in a sort of stagnant period where it's debated whether it's going to be a little bit more bullish or a little bit more bearish. I think either way, you look at Block's chart, and I feel that there is potential for this line to break right here, right now, and we could potentially be entering a bullish trend. Maybe not like what we've seen in 2021, but around we could see to about $140 or even beyond. I am bullish on Square. Square has been doing fantastic, and obviously that is replicated under SQY. Now, if we were to break through this, we would still be seeing these 100% dividends or even greater, to be honest, as the stock price would soar probably faster and further than it has previously. But I think the setup for Square is fantastic here. We have a fantastic opportunity for it to break through, and that's why I keep mentioning it on this channel. And when I look at this chart, I see obviously a lot better upside than I do see to the downside. The downside could be we could retrace back to this $40 level, or we could retrace back to this $56 level, but I think long-term Square is going to appreciate. And one thing that Square has really going for it is that the past revenues have been fantastic. When I go here to actually their financials, you could see here that quarter over quarter, they are growing their revenue, which is a great sign to see. We have a growing revenue company. We have a company paying, obviously with SQY, it pays a pretty fantastic dividend due to the share price appreciation of Square. But with growing revenue and obviously a share price chart that could have a potential break to the upside, that is a great trend to have. And another thing that's amazing for Block, kind of going into their company as a whole, what I do want to show you here is in February 2023, so this is early 2023, Block reported 51 million active monthly users. This was for their Cash App. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is here it said roughly about 44 million or 51 million active monthly customers on Cash App. This was in February. Now, what I do also want to point out is their gross margins are pretty good at 42% for those transactions. But I was scrolling down here and you could see here as a month goes by, we had February, which was 51 million. Now we have May coming along, May 2023, it was rising up to 53 million active users. I scroll down a little bit more here. I'm just kind of looking through. We have September, more than 80 million active users on the platform. So you could see here the Cash App was going fantastic. In the year, it grew from 51 million users to 80 million users. That is a fantastic increase, almost an increase of about 50%. Obviously not quite, maybe about 60-70%, but that is a great increase for Square and Block as a whole. This is a company which has been growing fantastically. You can see here, like in 2020, they had a pretty big run up that is obviously due to COVID and everyone thinking everything was going to go online, but it was a little bit overblown. But now that kind of maybe all the hype and everything is gone out of the stock and we've kind of come to realistic valuations, we have a company that is growing very well, increasing its monthly users very fast, which is amazing to see. And another thing, Block runs these credit card machines, which I think are a fantastic idea. I like them because you know what? They help small businesses transact with credit cards and online payments. You don't have to necessarily go through Cash App, although it's been growing. You can use something simpler, which will give everyone access to buy certain products if you are a small business. I think this is a great idea. And Block has a really good kind of thing going where they use subscriptions and subscription-based services in order to collect those payments. They will make kind of a little profit on every transaction that is created. Now, when we look at this, we see that these were the 3 months ending September 20 in 2023 and 2022. You could see that it was growing pretty nicely from roughly just under $300 million to about $415 million. But when we go to pretty much almost a full year, we could see here in 2022, their subscription-based service was about 818 million, and it's crossed over the $1 billion marker. So that means every year they're increasing their subscription services, meaning more people are buying these machines, more people are transacting on them, and they are just collecting in subscriptions alone over $1 billion a year. This is a fantastic measure. You could see here the total net revenue skyrocket, well, not skyrocketing, but it's going up pretty good. $4 billion in 1 year for a company with a market cap that's about 47 billion. So that's not too shabby at all. This is my whole bullish thesis on SQY, and the reason why I think it has a potential, the Yieldmax version, to surpass CONY, not only in the dividend yield, perhaps if it does continue to appreciate very nicely, but also in the share price, as CONY sits roughly about $29 and Square sits at like 26, 23. So this was just a little video I wanted to make about SQY and Square SQ, just showing you the price potential of SQ and how it could translate to the Yieldmax version. Some kind of bullish things around Square as a company, how it's growing, it's doing well. So that is something that I wanted to show you guys. If you guys are interested, this by no means says you should invest in SQY or Square, but this is just kind of my opinion on it and why I wanted to present an opportunity to you, because otherwise, why would I have this channel if I wasn't presenting opportunities to you guys? So I hope I provided some value and some clarity with this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and got some kind of knowledge, new sense about it, new sense about SQY. I hope you guys please do subscribe. We're up to 3,768 subscribers, so please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so. I hope you guys do take care, have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next one.